Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Hounded. It's a Disney Channel original movie, as you might have suspected. Uh, and once again, it deals, it's only an hour and a half long. Once again, it deals with a boy and a dog that don't get along too well. And just like Life is Rough, which we had a few weeks ago, I guess, it seems like much longer, or yeah, time flies. But yeah, this it's actually a lot more convoluted than this than what it seems on the surface. It's unnecessarily convoluted. It is. I'm gonna be straight out with you. It's not a great movie, but it has its moments. And I'll explain it here in a second here. But first of all, I want to tell you that that kid right there, his name is Taj Mowry. He plays Jay, and that's a Pomeranian. It's a show dog apparently. Um, and there's another number of notable actors in this thing. Shia LaBeouf plays the bad guy. He's at best 15, 13, 14, whatever. He's still. This is 2001, by the way. So this came out in 2001 on the Disney Channel. And so yeah, he plays this smug, tightly wound, schmoozy. I don't know. He's channeling Nick Cage. Um, I'm not really sure how to explain that, but he's definitely just Shia LaBeouf is being Shia LaBeouf the early years. Like 13-year-olds shouldn't do cocaine. It seems he's not doing cocaine as far as I know, but it seems like he is. At least the character is. It's he's tweaking a little bit too hard, and he gets shouty at times. So like Nick Cage. So anyway, he's like the rival to Jay's character there, and Shia LaBeouf he plays Ronnie, and Ronnie's dad is played by Ed Begley Jr., who is much more cartoonish than I've seen him in a long time. I mean, he's gotten older since 2001, obviously, but back here he's playing a goofy, but also awful guy. Like if you want to know where Ronnie gets his crappiness, his dad, the headmaster of the school, by the way, is pretty much where he gets it from. Well, Jay, our main character here, he's trying for a scholarship that Ronnie is also up against. Jay gets his note cards taken away from him by the headmaster, which is Ed Bakley Jr., and due to some sort of misunderstanding. And so, but he's due to get this scholarship because he has a really good speech. But it turns out it ends up in the hands of Ronnie, and Ronnie ends up going first and doing the speech that that Jay had pretty much almost memorized and was ready to present, realizing that yeah, it got stolen. What are you going to do about it? Well, this whole process, he decides to try to find proof that Ronnie plagiarized his speech and stole his note cards. So he sneaks into Ronnie's pool house. Ronnie lives, it's like he has a back house of his very own. He lives in the pool house. His parents are obviously rich, but he has his own little place with pinball machines and arcade machines and all sorts of things. It's like his own little private house that he likes to brag about to impress the girls. Um, So Jay sneaks into his place trying to hunt for these note cards to prove that it was his speech and or his presentation, and he runs across this dog. And this dog, yappy as it is, my mom had a Pomeranian. My mom had two Pomeranians, and they are yappy little things. But this little guy finds Jay, and when Jay tries to make his escape, not getting the note cards, not finding the note cards, the dog follows him, and it's relentless, and it won't get away. And and at one point, the dog chases him across the street and runs a risk of getting killed, and Jay has to save him. So I've told you the whole premise of the entire film up to this point that puts these two characters in proximity, right here. Yes, the dog is a character. Um, from here, no, you just have to watch the movie to understand all the convoluted mess. There's a fake. They want to try to return the dog. He wants to try to return the dog, uh, but they don't want the dog back. Or at least Ed Bailey Jr. doesn't. His wife does, but then his father-in-law. It again, it's needlessly convoluted and back and forth. But what the purpose of the film is to put this kid and that dog in proximity to each other and just watch the fireworks. And it's not because there's some great acting going on. The kid's a good actor. It's not like there's anything wrong with him. He needs to hide this. He's taken the dog home and he needs to hide this from his family. Well, his mom is taken off for the week, conveniently, to do something, and he doesn't have a father. Ding, 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 ding. Another Disney trope. Dead parent. So his brother, though, is coming back from military school to hang out with his brother. They don't get along too much since their dad died, and there's lots of tension there. But he tries to hide the existence of the dog from his big brother. And yeah, that doesn't go so well, because the moment the dog gets in the house, he kind of gets a little aggressive, and it's because he's not had his medication. And from this point on, this is where the movie gets kind of freaking awesome. It gets really. They've created a puppet replica of the dog, but much more gremlin-like. It's just got this really intense look on his face, like he's all strung out, and he doesn't. The dog tears the kid's pants off. It rips up the house, latches himself to the kid's face. There is a ton of physical humor to be gotten out of this dog off his medication. And so the greatest thing in this movie is the puppet dog. It looks like a real dog. It's not like, it's not the fluffy dog from the Muppets or anything. It literally looks like a strung out version of this Pomeranian, and it is insane. And I actually laughed out loud just because it's so absurd. It's so silly. It's not because it's like, oh my God, that's some really artful work there. I mean, it is a good puppet, but honestly, what they do with it, the craziness, him leaping and bouncing off of stuff, and then there's actually a scene they recreated from The Shining where the kid locks himself in the bathroom, the dog starts eating its way through the door, and it breaks through, and there's a slot there where the dog just like gets his kind of look in his face through the door. The kid's screaming his head off. He's a 13-year-old kid, terrified of a Pomeranian. And to the point where he has to put a large basket over the dog and then try to duct tape it down somehow. While the thing, you can see it just sort of, it's like jabbing its face through the slats in the basket. It's awesome. And then it gets even crazier when the brother gets home and he finds the entire house obliterated inside. And then the brother doesn't believe that, the dog is all that much trouble. Guess what? It is. And the two brothers kind of bond over trying to hold down this dog. And that's all I'm going to tell you about the story. There's some other just completely crazy stuff that happens in this that just doesn't make any sense, but it's funny. Again, like I said, this is not a great movie by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it has a great series of events, and it's well performed between the kids, between the kid Jay and the dog. So yeah, and just to see Shia LaBeouf in his early teens being his weirdly intense self before he got older and got weirdly intense. It's kind of funny. I'm not sure if this is during the Even Stevens era or just after it or what, or before it. I have no idea. But it's definitely long before Indiana Jones. So yeah, I'm gonna say watch Hounded just for those crazy dog sequences with the puppet. Just see as a puppet and take it from there. Ugh. All right, well, that's all I have to say about that. So, Hounded on Disney Plus. Let's pick tomorrow's selection. So what we got here? Come on. No? Maybe? Come on. Come on. Generate. Okay. I'm gonna reload the page and I'm gonna try it again. I don't know why it's being weird. But I'm not gonna cheat you out of this. We're not gonna edit this. All right. Here we go again. Generate. All right. Result 393. There we go. You know why I don't break this, because it shows that there's no way I'm going to re-record this again and then do another number just because I didn't like what was picked. This is to prove to you that I go through this whole ordeal uncut so you get a real results. That I'm not just jerking around and editing in the one, just pressing generate enough times to find the one thing I really want. Because honestly, I wouldn't have watched I'll Be Home for Christmas in February. So anyway, 393 is another little classic. Newsies, starring a very young Christian Bale, I think. So we're going to watch Newsies. I don't know if I've ever watched Newsies. If I did, it's, again, I was Christian Bale's age at the time, probably. It's a long time ago. A very, very long time ago. So yeah, Newsies on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge tomorrow. I'll see you back here. Till later.